Okay, so welcome back to day 5 of my 5-day e-course Kickstarter program designed to help you improve your health and nutrition. So over the last 4 days, we've gone through the essential pillars. We've also talked about how to apply those. And then day 3, we went through what it takes to create a full nutritional plan. Yesterday, we talked about supplementation and asking yourself, is it really necessary? So having all this information is all well and good, but now we need to implement it and create a really solid action plan. So the first place I like to start with anything is to set some realistic goals. Now you can set these, and it's always really important to write them down as well. So not just keep them in your head, to write them down so we can visualize and we can see these every day. So if we use the SMART principles when setting these goals, so basically what that means is you want your goals to be specific for number one. So what is it exactly that you want to achieve? These goals also want to be measurable. So how are we going to measure these? Are we going to be able to measure them daily, weekly, monthly, yearly? And also, how are we going to measure them? So are we going to use the scale weight? Are we going to use mirrors? It's all the things you've got to decide. Action. So what do you believe is actually required for you to achieve these goals? We need to write down these steps. So it could just be as simple as better food choices, increasing your water intake, reducing your sugar intake. Now these goals also have to be realistic. So can you achieve these goals even with support? And you also want to be writing down what are going to be the barriers that you're up against. So what could potentially hold you back, and then we can work an action plan around this to make sure you overcome these barriers. And it's also got to be work within a time scale. So, when do you want to achieve these goals by? And by doing this, we can reverse engineer the goals that you've set, and we can almost create a progressive step ladder to get you to those goals. Okay, so other than setting goals, we also want to be taking photographs. The reason for this, photographs do not lie. We want to be using before and after photographs to track your progress. Now, the reason for photographs is we can visually see what's going on, and obviously you can see your progress. This is going to spur you on to keep going. Number 3, you want to clear out your cupboards. Now, when I say clear out your cupboards, I don't mean eat all the food in your cupboards and that's it, we can start afresh. I mean literally be really ruthless. Take out any junk food, any foods that you think is going to hinder your performance, any unhealthy foods. I mean literally just throw them out. Don't mess about with this. Don't keep things for the just in case scenarios. And then we want to be looking at creating a varied nutrition plan from what I've already taught you. So we need to take into account how many times a day we're going to be eating, what sort of foods we want to be eating. So these are going to be mainly single whole ingredient foods. And we want to be getting creative. So we want to be having a wide variety of nutrients in our diet, and also rotating our lean source of protein, fats and carbohydrates so we don't get bored of our meals. And this is basically going to be your blueprint, your go-to guide. And number 5, we want to be keeping a diary of all this. We want to be logging it. So we want to be using a food diary to start with. This can be just as simple as a Word document or even on paper. Or there's a really good app called MyFitnessPal, which is really good for tracking food on. Really, really simple to use. That's if you've got a smartphone or a computer. As well as this, we also want to be tracking our water intake to make sure we're staying hydrated through the day. And it's also a good idea to keep a diary of our sleep quality. So just noting down how you feel in the morning and throughout the day, and also the quality of sleep that you've had. Okay, so number 6, we want to be recording measurements. So whether you do this through weekly measurements or monthly measurements, it's a really good thing to do to keep on track of it. Then we can almost watch our progress, and then if anything does fluctuate, we can look back at our food diaries, we can look back at our measurements, and we can also determine why these have happened, and we can make changes to keep us progressing towards that goal. Okay, so over the past 5 days, I've given you all this information, and this is what you need to put a solid action plan together. Now, like I've said in the past, there is no magic pill. It all comes down to being consistent and hard working towards that end result. So I hope you've had fun over the past 5 days, and you've been able to learn how to improve your health and nutrition. and I hope you go away and start implementing these on a daily basis. If you need any more help, head over to www.mypersonaltrainerstockport and get in contact with me from there, and I can help you further with a personalised nutrition and exercise program. Thanks very much. See you later.